Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Easy English Podcast. I'm Noor, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with you today. Whether you're driving, exercising, doing chores, or just relaxing, thank you for choosing to spend this time with us as we dive deeper into the fascinating world of English language learning. Our goal here at Easy English Podcast is always to make learning English as simple, enjoyable, and effective as possible. Today, we're going to tackle a topic that is, in my opinion, one of the most crucial, yet often overlooked, aspects of achieving true fluency in English. It's something that can truly unlock your potential and transform your learning journey. We are going to talk about thinking in English. Yes, you heard me right. Thinking in English. It might sound a bit daunting at first, or perhaps even a little strange. But I promise you, by the end of this episode, you'll understand why this skill is so incredibly powerful and how you can start practicing it today. So, grab your headphones, get comfortable, and let's get started on unlocking your English fluency. All right, let's kick things off by really understanding why thinking in English is such a game changer. Imagine you're trying to have a spontaneous conversation with a native English speaker. Perhaps you're at a coffee shop, or meeting someone new, or even just having a casual chat with a friend. What often happens for many learners is a little internal process that goes something like this. You hear an English sentence, translate it into your native language in your head. Formulate a response in your native language. Translate that response back into English, and finally, speak the English sentence. Now, while this process might seem logical when you're just starting out, it's actually a huge barrier to natural, fluent conversation. I like to compare it to driving with the parking brake on. Think about it. You're trying to move forward. You're pressing the gas. But there's this constant resistance, this constant friction that's slowing you down. Your brain is doing double the work, translating both ways. And that takes time, effort, and energy. This constant back and forth translation creates several problems. Firstly, it significantly slows down your speech. You can't respond as quickly and naturally as you'd like, because your brain is busy with those extra translation steps. This often leads to awkward pauses, which can make you feel less confident, and even make the other person wonder if you've understood them. Secondly, it can lead to unnatural sounding English. When you translate word for word from your native language, you often end up with sentences that are grammatically correct, but don't sound natural to a native English speaker. Languages have different structures, idioms, and ways of expressing ideas. What works perfectly in your native tongue might sound strange or even incorrect when directly translated into English. For example, some expressions or cultural nuances just don't have a direct equivalent, and translating them literally can be confusing or even humorous in the wrong way. Thirdly, it exhausts your brain. Imagine running a marathon with ankle weights. You can do it. But it's much harder and more tiring. The same applies to your brain when it's constantly translating. This mental fatigue can lead to you avoiding conversations, feeling overwhelmed, or simply giving up on speaking English because it feels like too much effort. But here's the good news. When you start thinking directly in English, you bypass all those unnecessary translation steps. Your brain processes information directly in the language you're trying to speak. It's like taking off those ankle weights and just running freely. This direct thinking allows for faster processing, more natural responses, and a significant boost in your confidence. You're no longer performing a complex mental calculation. You're just communicating. It's the difference between reciting lines you've memorized and truly expressing your own thoughts and feelings in real time. Thinking in English also forces you to engage with the language on a deeper level. You're not just memorizing vocabulary words. You're building connections between concepts and their English representations. This creates a stronger neural network for the language in your brain, making it more accessible and intuitive. So the core idea here is to remove the middleman, your native language, from your English communication process. We want to train our brains to operate directly in English, just like a native speaker does. And trust me, it's a skill that anyone can develop with consistent practice and the right strategies. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds great, Noor, but how do I actually do that? And that's exactly what we're going to explore in our next part. We'll dive into practical, actionable strategies that you can start using today to cultivate English thought. Welcome back. In our last section, we discussed why thinking in English is so vital for fluency. Now, let's get into the how. I've got a fantastic list of practical strategies that you can start implementing right away to train your brain to think directly in English. Remember, consistency is key here. So even small, regular efforts will add up to significant progress. Let's dive in. One of the most powerful strategies is immersion, meaning surrounding yourself with English. You can do this by watching English movies and TV shows. Start with English subtitles, then try without. Listen to English music and look up the lyrics. Tune into English podcasts like this one on topics you enjoy. A simple but effective trick is to change the language settings on your phone, computer, and other devices to English. You already know where everything is, so you'll quickly associate the English words with familiar actions. And definitely read English books or articles, starting with simpler ones and focusing on understanding the general meaning, not every single word. The goal of immersion is to make English a natural part of your daily life. Another effective strategy is self-talk. This might feel a little strange at first, but it's incredibly effective. Start narrating your day and your thoughts in English, silently in your head, or even out loud if you're in a private space. For example, during your morning routine, you might think, "Okay, I'm getting out of bed. It's a bit cold today. I need to make some coffee. What should I wear? I think I'll wear the blue shirt." This practice forces your brain to retrieve English vocabulary and structure sentences on the fly. It's low pressure, as you're only talking to yourself, so there's no fear of judgment. You can do this anywhere: in the shower, on your commute, while cooking. It's a fantastic way to identify gaps in your vocabulary or grammar in a very practical context. Similar to self-talk, but engaging a different part of your brain, is writing, journaling in English. Start a simple journal and write about your day, your feelings, your plans, or anything that comes to mind, all in English. Don't focus on perfection. The goal here is not to write a masterpiece. Don't worry about grammar mistakes or spelling errors. Just get your thoughts down. You can try free writing by setting a timer for 5 to 10 minutes and just writing continuously without stopping. Whatever comes to mind in English. This helps bypass the internal editor and encourages natural thought flow. Writing helps solidify new vocabulary and grammar structures, and it trains your brain to organize thoughts directly in English. A fun, hands-on technique, especially effective for beginners, is using visual aids, labeling objects. Get some sticky notes and write the English names for objects around your house: door, chair, table, refrigerator, window, lamp. Every time you see the label, say the word out loud. This creates a strong visual and auditory association between the object and its English name, bypassing translation entirely. You can even label actions, like open on the door. This technique builds a practical, visual dictionary in your mind, directly linking the object to the English word. This might feel a bit awkward at first, but it's a fantastic way to build confidence and fluency. The mirror technique. Stand in front of a mirror and talk in English. Describe your appearance. I have brown hair. My eyes are blue. I'm wearing a green shirt. Practice your self-talk ideas out loud while looking at yourself. If you have an upcoming presentation or need to practice explaining something, do it in front of the mirror. Pay attention to your facial expressions, gestures, and overall posture. This helps you become more comfortable with the physical act of speaking English and projecting confidence. Active listening goes beyond just hearing the words. It involves deep engagement with the audio. Pay attention not just to the words, but also to the speaker's tone of voice, intonation, the rise and fall of their voice, rhythm, the natural flow of their speech, and nuances, subtle meanings, sarcasm, Humor. If you hear a phrase or word you don't understand, pause the audio, rewind a few seconds, and listen again. Try to guess the meaning from context. Many podcast players and video platforms allow you to slow down the playback speed. Use this for difficult passages. You can also try shadowing. Listen to a short phrase or sentence and immediately try to repeat it exactly as you heard it, mimicking the speaker's pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. Active listening trains your ear to the patterns and sounds of English, making it easier for your brain to process and eventually reproduce them. Trying to learn everything at once is overwhelming and often leads to burnout. Instead, focus on breaking down learning into smaller, manageable chunks. For vocabulary, focus on theme-based words, example, travel, food. For grammar, master one point at a time before moving to the next. Short study sessions are more effective. 15 to 20 minutes consistently every day is better than one long session once a week. Remember to celebrate small wins, like successfully using a new word. This approach makes the learning process less daunting and more sustainable. To form the habit of thinking in English, we need to actively prompt ourselves. This means setting reminders. Set alarms on your phone with messages like "Think in English." Place sticky notes with English words or phrases in prominent places. Associate thinking in English with a specific action, like every time you drink water, tell yourself something in English. These reminders help you integrate English thinking into your daily routine until it becomes a more natural habit. We all have small bits of time throughout the day that often go unused. These are perfect opportunities for quick English practice. This is about utilizing small pockets of time. While waiting in line, describe the people around you or narrate your shopping list in English. On your commute, describe what you see outside or plan your day in English. Even 2 to 5 minutes of focused English thinking can make a big difference, as these moments add up. While individual practice is essential, nothing beats real-life interaction for improving fluency and confidence. So, consider finding a language partner or conversation group. Websites and apps like Tandem or HelloTalk connect you with native speakers. Look for local English conversation groups in your city. If your budget allows, consider online classes with a native English teacher. Focus on communication and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Your partner or group members are there to support you. Ask open-ended questions and listen actively. These interactions provide immediate feedback and help you put your English thinking into action in a dynamic environment. When you learn new vocabulary, don't just memorize the word. Try to use visualization. Create vivid mental images. If you learn umbrella, Picture yourself holding a bright red umbrella in the rain, feeling the drops, hearing the pitter-patter. This creates a stronger, more direct connection between the English word and its meaning, bypassing the need to translate to your native language first. It anchors the word in your brain in a more meaningful way. Believe it or not, your physical presence can significantly impact how you feel and how others perceive your fluency. This is about body language. Use confident posture. Stand or sit upright with your shoulders back. Maintain appropriate eye contact. Use natural hand gestures to emphasize points or describe things. A simple smile can make you appear more approachable and relaxed. When your body language projects confidence, it often translates into a more confident and fluent speaking style. This is a subtle but powerful technique, embracing silence. When you're in a conversation and need a moment to formulate your thoughts, resist the urge to immediately translate in your head. Take a brief pause. It's natural. Use that pause to consciously think in English. If you get stuck on a specific word, quickly think of an alternative way to express the idea using words you do know. Don't panic. A short silence is not a sign of failure, but a sign you're processing and formulating your response. Embracing silence allows you to train your brain to work directly in English during a real-time conversation. So, as you can see, there are many strategies, big and small, that you can incorporate into your daily routine to start cultivating English thought. The key is to find what works best for you and to be consistent. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick one or two strategies that resonate with you. Start practicing and gradually add more as you get comfortable. Now, let's talk about the common challenges and roadblocks that learners face when trying to think in English. And more importantly, how to overcome them. You're not alone in this journey. You're doing great. We've explored many strategies, but any significant learning journey comes with its challenges. It's not always smooth sailing, and that's perfectly normal. It's crucial to remember that these are not signs of failure. They are simply part of the learning process. Everyone experiences them. The biggest obstacle for many learners is the fear of making mistakes. The fear of saying something wrong can be paralyzing. Embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. Every mistake is feedback that tells you where you need to improve. Shift your focus from perfection to communication. The goal is to get your message across. Lower your expectations and remember why you're learning. Another common challenge is tip-of-the-tongue moments, when you know the word but just can't recall it. Instead of getting flustered, try to describe the word using other words you do know. For example, if you can't remember screwdriver, say, "It's a tool for turning screws. It's long and has a handle." You can also use synonyms or simpler terms. The key is to explain, not translate. The sheer volume of vocabulary and grammar rules can make anyone feel overwhelmed. To counter this, break down learning into smaller steps. Set realistic goals and focus on progress, not perfection. Use resources wisely and take breaks when you feel overwhelmed. Sometimes you might forget to think in English and fall back into old habits. This is where implementing reminders and visual cues is crucial. Integrate English thinking into existing routines, like describing what you're doing while brushing your teeth. Find an accountability partner. Be patient and forgiving with yourself. Just notice it and gently redirect your thoughts back to English. Perfectionism is also a significant roadblock. Some learners are so focused on achieving perfect English that they become paralyzed. Let go of the need for perfect English. Even native speakers make mistakes and have accents. Focus on fluency over accuracy, especially in the early stages, as getting your message across builds confidence. Your accent is normal and unique, part of who you are. Recognize that learning is iterative, a continuous cycle of making mistakes and improving. Finally, you might sometimes feel stuck or burned out. If you feel this way, take a break. Sometimes stepping away for a day or two can bring renewed energy. Change up your study routine by trying something new and enjoyable. Revisit your why. Remind yourself of your initial motivations. Connect with other learners to share struggles and successes. Most importantly, celebrate your journey and how far you've come. Overcoming these challenges requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to experiment. Your perseverance is what will ultimately lead you to success. Now, let's talk about the rewards. All that effort you put into cultivating English thought pays off in spades. The benefits of thinking directly in English are immense and will truly transform your entire language learning experience and your ability to connect with the world. The biggest one is increased fluency and confidence. Bypassing translation means your responses are quicker, more natural, and spontaneous. This leads to smoother conversation flow and more natural sentence structures as you internalize English patterns. As your ability to express thoughts directly and clearly grows, your confidence skyrockets, making you more willing to engage in conversations. Thinking in English also leads to better comprehension. When you read or listen, your brain processes information directly in English, leading to faster and more accurate understanding. You become more attuned to nuances, humor, and cultural references that might be lost in translation. Plus, less translation means less mental effort, so you can listen or read for longer without getting tired. This might sound counterintuitive, but learning a new language, especially by thinking in it, often provides enhanced understanding of your native language. You start to notice the unique grammar and expression patterns in your own language more consciously. And you might find that English has words for concepts that don't have a direct equivalent in your native language, broadening your understanding. English is a global language, and thinking in it opens up a world of social benefits. It allows you to connect with people from countless countries and cultures, leading to new friendships and broader networks. Travel becomes infinitely richer when you can communicate directly with locals. For your career, English proficiency is often critical, giving you a competitive edge. And of course, you gain access to the vast majority of online content, academic research, films, and music available in English. Finally, thinking in English adds enjoyment and playfulness to your learning. When you're not constantly struggling with translation, the process becomes less frustrating and more enjoyable. You can genuinely enjoy English movies, books, and conversations, finding fun in the process by engaging with topics you genuinely enjoy. Every time you successfully think and speak in English, you get a rush of satisfaction, which fuels your motivation to continue. Thinking in English isn't just a technical skill. It's a doorway to a richer, more connected, and more enjoyable experience of the English language. It transforms learning from a rigid academic exercise into a dynamic, living part of your life. Now, to truly bring it all together and ensure your long-term success, we need to talk about your mindset. Learning a language, especially developing a new way of thinking, is as much a psychological journey as it is an intellectual one. Adopting the right mindset can make all the difference. One of the most liberating mindset shifts is embracing imperfections. Your accent is part of your identity and is completely normal. Grammar errors happen to everyone, even native speakers. Let go of self-criticism and be your own best cheerleader. Another crucial mindset is focusing on progress, not perfection. Shift your internal narrative from "I'm not perfect yet" to "look how much I've improved." Celebrate small milestones, track your journey, and be patient with yourself. Remember to compare yourself only to your past self. For long-term success, prioritize consistency over intensity. 15 to 20 minutes of focused English thinking or practice every day is far more effective than long, infrequent sessions. Build habits by integrating English into your daily routines. You also need to accept finding your own voice. You don't need to sound exactly like a native speaker from a specific region. The goal is to communicate effectively and confidently in a way that feels authentic to you. Focus on clarity and expressiveness rather than just mimicking. Don't forget to be expressive and humorous. Use intonation and rhythm to convey meaning and emotion. Use body language and gestures. Embrace humor, as laughter is a powerful tool for connection and makes learning more enjoyable. Let your unique personality shine through your English. Lastly, view language learning as a journey, not a destination. True fluency isn't a fixed point you reach and then stop. It's a continuous process of learning, growth, and discovery. Even native speakers continue to learn. Enjoy the process, embrace the ongoing challenge, and stay curious. By adopting these mindset shifts, you're not just changing how you learn English, but who you are as a learner. You're becoming more resilient, more self-aware, and ultimately more successful. This holistic approach will not only help you achieve fluency, but also enjoy every step of that incredible journey. We've covered so much today, and I truly hope this episode has given you a clearer path and renewed motivation to cultivate the powerful habit of thinking in English. Remember, this isn't an overnight transformation. It's a gradual process, a daily commitment, and a journey of discovery. Start small. Be consistent. Be patient with yourself. And most importantly, have fun with it. Every time you consciously choose to think in English, you're building a stronger connection to the language and moving closer to true fluency. You have the power within you to achieve your English learning goals. Trust the process. Embrace your mistakes. Celebrate your progress. And keep thinking in English. The world of fluent conversation, new connections, and endless possibilities awaits you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Easy English podcast. Your dedication to learning English inspires us every single day. If you found this episode helpful, share it with a friend who is also learning English, and leave us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Your feedback helps us reach more learners like you. Until next time, keep practicing, keep thinking, and keep speaking English with confidence. This is Noor, signing off from Easy English Podcast. See you in the next episode.